The church with no door, only whispers. Hey, what's up, guys? I've got a story for you that's so eerie, so strange, you'll be second-guessing every church you see from now on. So, lean in a little closer, cause this one is about the church with no doors. Yep, no doors, and it only speaks in whispers. Sounds like a bad dream, right? Well, trust me, this one's going to stick with you. Okay, picture this. You're walking through a small town, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and you stumble upon this church. Nothing special about it at first glance. It's got the usual Gothic vibes, high arches, some old stained glass, maybe a bell tower in the distance. But as you get closer, you notice something strange. There are no doors, not a single entrance. The building just stands there, completely closed off to the outside world, but you can feel something you can't quite explain. But the real kicker, if you stand there long enough, just watching, it starts. Soft whispers, almost like they're coming from inside the church, but there's no one around. Now, let me ask you, would you just turn around and walk away? Or would you step closer, maybe even peek through one of those stained glass windows? Well, if you're anything like me, you'd be dying to know what was going on inside. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. This kind of thing isn't exactly your run-of-the-mill haunted house stuff. It's weirder and kinda more unsettling. 'Cause here's the thing, people who've dared to get close enough to the church report hearing voices. Whispers, like I said, but they're not just random words. They feel like they're calling you, pulling you in. No one really knows where those voices are coming from. But if you've ever been in a place where you just felt that energy, like the walls are closing in but no one's there, you know exactly what I mean. But that's not the craziest part. It's what people did once they heard those whispers. See, most of the time, these people didn't turn tail and run. Instead, they'd stand there, transfixed, confused, and sometimes a little obsessed. One guy, a local, he swears he spent hours just standing in front of the church, listening. The whispers didn't make sense at first, but slowly they started to feel familiar, like memories of a time long ago. You'd hear your name whispered over and over, as though the church itself knew things about you that you'd forgotten. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, that's creepy, but maybe it's just the wind or some weird acoustics. But let me tell you, there's more to it. More that's impossible to explain away with simple logic. 'Cause when the whispers get louder, they start calling people. It's subtle at first. You hear someone's voice, and it sounds a lot like someone you know, but then they say something that just doesn't make sense. Like, "I've been waiting for you." "Oh, it's time. Come inside." I mean, who wouldn't be curious about that? And I'm sure a lot of people have gone in, right? Maybe not physically, but mentally, they've stepped inside, and that's where things get real twisted. Here's where the stories get even stranger. See, no one really knows what happens to those who finally enter the church. They can't describe it, or at least, no one has come back with a clear story. There's been no record of anyone actually entering, at least not while anyone was watching. Some say the people who hear the whispers get lost, not physically, but mentally. The whispers don't just tell you what's inside. They start to tell you things that you wish you never knew about yourself. Deep, dark things. Things that get under your skin and don't let go. Take Ellie, for example. She was just a local teenager, hanging out with her friends in the town square one afternoon. They'd all heard about the church and its creepy whispers. It was the topic of every conversation for weeks. So, of course, Ellie and her friends dared each other to walk closer. When they finally stood in front of it, she felt this pull, like it was almost magnetic. And when the whispers started, well, she was the first to say, "Let's go in." But you know what's weird? Her friends didn't hear the whispers. Or at least, they didn't hear anything like what Ellie heard. She was the only one who heard her name. The only one who felt like something was reaching out for her. And that's the last time anyone saw her or heard from her. Her friends went home, shook it off, but Ellie never came back to the square. The police searched, but they never found any sign of her. It was like she just vanished. The whispers? Well, they kept going, just like always, calling out to anyone brave enough to listen. Here's the catch, though Every now and then, someone else hears those same whispers. People who've never heard of Ellie, or the church, or the strange stories that swirl around it. New people who have no idea what they're walking into, are drawn to the church, and the whispers, they always get them, too. Just like Ellie, they hear their names. The questions start to form in their minds, and before they know it, they are too far gone to back out. Some think the church is a gateway. Some think it's a curse. And some think it's something else entirely, something that feeds on curiosity. Whatever it is, it's clear. It's not just a building. It's a place of power. A place that pulls people in, but never lets them leave. So, here's a real question. Would you be curious enough to step closer? To hear your name whispered in the wind? To feel that pull? Or would you turn and walk away, knowing that some things are just better left alone? One thing's for sure, if you ever find yourself in a town with a church that has no doors, only whispers, maybe it's best to listen and walk away. Alright, guys, I want to know, would you dare to stand in front of that church? Or would you turn the other way? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you like this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that'll have you questioning what's real and what's just a whisper away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.